Questions for Coach Johnson?
How's practice?
It went okay. I mean, we're getting to the point now where it's, as I told our guys, it's close to game week. We'll go in Shells tomorrow and play a Friday game, and then we'll give them the weekend off and hopefully get their legs back. I know they're a little leg weary.
Do you notice that as you get closer to the game?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Getting
when you're in
excited about it?
camp. Well, I think you'll see it when you get in game week. Right now, it's still a long way off to them.
In terms of, I guess, getting your offensive line in your top 8 or 9 or whatever, how close do you feel like you are right now?
We'll just see who's available. I mean, that's always the thing. I think we know who the starters are if everybody's out there, but we've got probably 9 or 10 we can rotate. Probably will in the first game for sure.
Watley and Smith at ABAC, are they, I guess, two-part of that? One, are they possibilities for the rotation, and two, are they possibilities for the return game?
Well, if you got deep enough in the rotation, they'd be, but they're not in the top 3 or 4.
Is Jalen went through some injuries in his career here, and now he's getting the first crack at the stinger and really kind of settling in there. How have you seen
Jalen.
Jalen Johnson?
Okay.
How have you seen him kind of take up that role?
Well, I think he's competing. He and Christian are competing at that stinger position, so I'm sure they'll both play. I know that he's had to fight a lot of injuries, but he's pretty healthy now, so hopefully he'll get to play.
How does that affect Charlie Thomas's chance?
He's
to play?
there too. I don't know how much he'll play. It just depends on how deep they get and what they're doing, I imagine.
Is Caleb at strong safety? Caleb Oliver?
He is.
Along with Tariq?
That's correct.
Is one standing out over the other at this point?
Tariq's a little taller than him. He stands out over Caleb.
So they both play the exact same ways?
Mhm.
TK came in early, didn't have a chance to any contact because of the injury. How has he progressed since then?
He's right now. He's on the scout team.
It seems like you kind of defensive depth seems sort of set, kind of from what you're talking.
To some degree. I mean,
Maybe it's
there's going to be. I think they want to play a lot of guys. So I'm sure what's going to happen is early on they're going to roll some guys, and then whoever ends up playing the hardest and playing the best will be the guys that get to play the most.
How much do you, how much do you walk back guys from wanting to play someone early with that 5, game redshirt rule and stuff? And
I don't. If guys can help us win, we play them. That's just the way it is. I don't want to waste a year on somebody who's, the biggest mistake you can make in the world is letting the coach convince you they got to have a guy, and then they play 4 plays and they never play again the rest of the year. And of course, that won't happen now because you got the 4 or 5 games, but or the 4 games. But it's, it'll be easier to do now. You can play a guy, and then if he's not playing much after the 4th game, you shut him down.
Friday you'll do kind of a walkthrough.
Friday will be a game scrimmage. We'll go through all the situations.
See if Nate will be up in that box right field.
He's on the field.
Has anybody surprised you over the fall, or did what you guys see in the spring kind of transfer over to what your expectations were this fall?
I don't know. I usually don't single guys out. I mean, we've had guys that had good summers, and we'll know soon enough. We're getting ready to play, so we'll play 2 or 3 games. Let's let them play a little bit before we start singling them out.
How hard is the next 10 days for you before you get a chance to really coach in a game?
You never have enough time. You stress about going through everything that you got to go through, and just hope that you can cover everything. I've got I've been doing this long enough. I got a long list of stuff that can happen in games, and we'll try to get all of it in on Friday. It's interesting. Sometimes I'll tell the quarterback to throw it to the other team, and they look at you like you're nuts. But you got to practice all that stuff and score on defense, and the other team scores on defense, and all those kind of things. You just need to practice.
Who's working with Malik at free safety? Who's up there with the ones?
They're just kind of rolling. Wanye's back there some. Malik, all those safeties are interchangeable. Caleb,
You can go
Tariq.
back and forth.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them that are interchangeable. Christian could go back there if he had to. There's just a bunch of guys rolling back there.
Here's Lucas. Would he be ready for spring? Is that your hope?
I would think, but you never know. We'll see. Spring's the farthest thing from my mind.
How's Andrew been handling his foot and bouncing back?
He hadn't had any problems with his foot, so we give him a couple days off. He got banged a little bit today. We'll see if he's hurt. I mean, I don't know. Had to leave practice, but hopefully it's not serious.
You mentioned last week, I think, about wanting to see the depth at guard pick up a little, become a little more competitive. Is that something you've seen?
Well, it's, Brad missed about a week of practice or a week or longer. So he was back today. Jahazel's out. He had a death in the family, so he's gone. He had to fly back to Louisiana. And so, it's all mix and match. And then Andrew was playing center today, so then now it's Scott Morgan and Chet. So it's just a constant move around.
Where's kind of Connor Hansen right now?
He's playing guard. He's in the mix trying to be the second-team guard.
What do you need to see from him to get him?
Needs to beat out Charles Clark, probably. Austin Smith. Those guys are kind of battling in there to see who's going to be.
How's Austin Smith impressed you?
He's got some punch. He needs to learn to play in college. It's not two steps and watch. But he's got ability. I think he'll be fine. We just got to get him some reps, and he's got to play some. He's got ability.
Is Mike May close to that classification too?
He's on the scout team.
Anything else for Coach?
Thanks, so.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks, Coach.